Serious car crash is every motorist's nightmare. Doug Patterson had a multiple crash at speed. The car ended up like this, but Doug walked away from the wreck.
Driving along, decided to overtake this lorry. Going past the lorry at about 70, I had the sensation I was going to hit him. I hit his cab with my back end, spun round, hit the crash barrier, hit the front of his lorry, crash barrier again, over the top of him, having turned a somersault, front end into a telegraph post, split it and landed upside down. I remember thinking at that stage, my God, hold on, don't die.
But Doug didn't die. Miraculously, all he got was a scratch. How did he do that? His car was one of an increasing number in Britain fitted with an airbag. This safety device is lightning fast and gives instant protection to driver and passenger from serious head injuries and even death. But how does it work?
The airbag is linked via an electrical cable to a sensor and a tiny computer. Contained in the sensor is a small tube with a ball inside. As the car rolls and bumps along, the ball moves in the tube. The movements are converted by the sensor into signals to the computer. All the time the car is driving along, the sensor sends these messages to the computer so it knows how fast the car's going when it hits a pothole or a sleeping policeman. But only a very violent and dangerous impact and deceleration makes the ball hit the trigger point at one end of the tube. That sends a danger signal to the computer, which in turn tells the airbag to blow. How does it do that? Well, the computer sends an electrical impulse to the airbag unit in the steering wheel. This impulse causes a spark in the yellow tube, which ignites these white crystals. As they flare, they produce nitrogen gas, and it's this that filled the airbag. It's safe because it's fast, 4 times faster than blinking. So fast, Doug didn't know what happened till he was safe.
It was all over so quickly, I wasn't actually conscious of anything other than I have this vivid recollection of 3 or 4 loud bangs. Static in the car, hanging upside down, I saw this, what I recall now as a greyish deflated balloon, a large thing hanging from the steering wheel. Other than that, there was nothing to suggest it had been up and back down.
The bag inflates and deflates in rapid succession. Why? Inflating the bag cushions the driver. Deflating it allows him to regain control of the vehicle. How do they do that? With a special computer, designers like John Cooper can determine exactly how the airbag will react to countless different collisions. This is vital because if the bag inflates too early, it can force the driver's head back, breaking their neck. And if the bag's too late or doesn't inflate enough, it won't give any protection at all. The computer can simulate thousands of crashes and test the bag's reactions to each, saving time and enormous expense.
A typical crash test would cost you approximately £10,000 to complete. That doesn't include the cost of the car or the people or the components that are used in the test. That's just for the facility. And we can run thousands of simulations and they cost a few pence.
On to the next stage. Testing at the Motor Industry Research Association. How do they do that? The frame of a car is shot backwards along a track. It's called a sled test. This rapid reversal exerts the same force on the driver and passenger as a crash stop. Then it's time to test the bags in a real car to make sure the findings of the computer and the sled test were spot on. The crashes staged during the test prove that airbags work, and in real life, Doug's the living proof.
I was fine. I had a sore shoulder, I had 1 or 2 lacerations on the top of my head, 1 or 2 on my left hand, and that literally was it. And then when the ambulance came along and the fire brigade, and I could see people scratching their head and shaking their head, and clearly they'd expected to be cutting people out,